Oh, God, stop. It was bad during the Reagan years. Trump is a modern Reagan, but even worse, God help us. We are so cooked. I don't see any way out of this other than Trump triggering the second Great Depression at this point. Like, straightforward business plot succeeds style. Here it is. Senator Schumer is not forcing the Republicans to concede on anything and not using the remaining power, the marginal power that the minority party has at its disposal to get Republicans to concede in order to avert a government shutdown. Insane stuff.
Acts, the federal government will shut down tomorrow at midnight. I have said many times there are no winners in a government shutdown, but there are certainly victims.
Holy shit. That's a good take. So your prediction was wrong? Wait, what? What was my prediction? I said that the Democrats might force concessions out of the Republicans, or at least push this battle seemingly because they said they would. But I didn't make a prediction that they certainly would not. Like, do you think I'm a believer in the Democratic Party? What are we, crazy? At most, I reported on yesterday, I reported on how the Democrats said that they would not let this go through. Maybe I did. Maybe I was like, definitely they'll fight back against this. Maybe I said that. I don't remember. Yeah, I was wrong, if that's the case. It is shockingly bad. It is yet another instance where the Democrats have, I guess, gone beyond. Dude, look at this. Look at this chat. Hold on. Where the is it? You didn't. Yes, you did. I don't have any confidence in the Democrats, but they did say that they were going to fight back against this yesterday and that there wasn't going to be 60 votes for this and that they would have pushed it into a filibuster and, or they would have pushed the Republicans to come back and bargain with them and get some assurances. I wanted them to do that. I urged people to do that. I thought the Democrats, at least judging by their response initially, would do that potentially, but I have no real firmly held convictions about the Democrats doing the right thing ever. So there's 0%. I don't think I was actively talking about how they definitely are going to do they're definitely going to do a push here. But the reality is, this is the bare minimum. Okay, what they're supposed to be doing here, what Chuck Schumer is doing here right now, is beyond lower than the bare minimum. It is alarming. Everything fucking sucks. It is truly. We're so done, dude. We are so done. Every day that goes by, I'm like, I don't know what the alternative is, but god damn, it's like, it hasn't always been this way. It's never been this bad. It's never been this bad. This is a new level of depravity from and a new level of cowardice from the Democrats. Why are you so doomer? We're going to get a fire-ass Dem TikTok dance over this? I'm going to Brian Kill Me. I'm going to become Brian Kill Me. Oh my God.
The most vulnerable Americans who rely on federal programs to feed their families. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America.
So Republicans have basically trapped the Democrats in this situation where if they force a government shutdown, the government shuts down. If they don't force a government shutdown, they permanently shut down federal agencies. That is where we're at. All of this
will win. We will win.
Oh, God, stop. It was bad during the Reagan years. Trump is a modern Reagan, but even worse, God help us. We are so cooked. I don't see any way out of this other than Trump triggering the second Great Depression at this point. Like, straightforward business plot succeeds style American fascist governance during a Great Depression style economic collapse. And there is no, the Democrats are not going to help us.
That are much, much worse. A shutdown would give Donald Trump and Elon Musk carte blanche to destroy vital government services at a significantly faster rate than they can right now. Under a shutdown, the Trump administration would have full authority to deem whole agencies, programs, and personnel non-essential, furloughing staff with no promise.
They've lost the stencil.
Democrats, you are being betrayed. It just came out that Chuck Schumer, the minority leader in the Senate, is pushing the caucus to vote.
That's crazy. Will Stancil is shitting on the Democrats. Holy. That's like Matt Iglesias is the one person left out there. Like once Matt Iglesias is like, God damn, Democrats, I didn't think you'd cave this hard. Is done. They got no one left. It's
Vote yes for cloture to close debate on Trump's funding bill. This would allow Democrats to lie and pretend they oppose the bill while taking a vote that would ensure the bill passes. This is their only leverage over Trump, and for months they've been saying they're going to use this bill to force negotiations with Trump to cut Trump's power and Elon Musk's rampage through the government. But now, with the opportunity to do so, they're giving up their leverage without a fight because they're scared to use it. They're not even trying. They are betraying you. Primary Chuck Schumer, primary every last one of them if you have to. This is unacceptable. They're not fighting. They are leaving you to rot.
Promise they would ever be rehired. I believe it is my...
Yeah, someone said, I saw this before you repeated it in the chat. Republicans are school shooters and Democrats are the cops. Unfortunately, Democrats are the cops from Uvalde. Yeah. I saw someone else say this before you, by the way. Don't try to yoink it from another chatter. And I suspect that other chatter probably saw it on Twitter, but it is true. We are the school children. We are the school children. The Democrats are the Uvalde cops, and the Republicans are the school straight up. They yoinked it from Reddit. It's what's going on right now. Schumer is right. Dems are understandably spoiling for a fight, but this was not it. The idea that there was a leverage and a shutdown was magical thinking. It'd be a gift to Doge. More people would be hurt, and it would have ended in a worse deal. This is correct. All my friends in D.C. are hopping mad about the way we are getting screwed on this bill. I am also mad. So it's especially hothouse environment for Hill staffers and members. A shutdown is itself Doge on steroids. Elon would declare whatever minority federal workers he doesn't want to fire, essential furlough everyone else, and declare victory. You'd end up with the Democrats begging the GOP to pass a CR and bring the workers back. This is what the Democrats' copium was on this issue. No, that they wouldn't. You want to know why? We're back. It wasn't long enough. The stream didn't cut out long enough, I don't think. Left us on a cliffhanger. Yeah, I said, you want to know why? And then I got shut down like the government. Okay, where was I? Oh, the Democrats, a shutdown goes in either direction. Okay, nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. It's not beneficial to the Republican Party. People are coping when they claim that like, oh, it would be Doge on steroids. It's a lie. The reason why it's a lie is because the clean resolution, which is not a clean one, or the clean continuing resolution, which is not a clean continuing resolution, is actually going to change your Wi-Fi password. Trust me. Okay. The fuck? What do you know, chatter? Tell us your Wi-Fi password. Dude, I don't even know what my Wi-Fi password is. Yes, DAuth attack. What is a DAuth attack? I can explain. I do it to my neighbors. To get free Wi-Fi. Okay. So you think there's someone in my neighborhood that is doing a 1 second deauthorization attack? Is that what you're claiming is what happened? I'm not on Wi-Fi, but you know, I feel like they would have to be pretty close to my house to be able to do that. But I'm not on Wi-Fi. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So what's going on here is Matt Iglesias coping. This was cope coming from some of the Democrats who were like, well, a government shutdown is kind of exactly like a government shutdown is exactly like Doge. You know, they're just shutting down certain government offices that they don't like and keeping others open. The problem is that is not a good position for the administration to be in, which is precisely why there is a very limited amount of time that they will entertain it. Because a lot of federal government workers being furloughed is insanely fucking unpopular and it will very quickly turn sour. It'll very quickly turn sour for the administration in charge. Having said that, however, allowing this to push through, allowing this supposedly clean continuing resolution to be pushed through will cause permanent damage to those federal agencies anyway, okay? Especially without assurances. This is unacceptable. And their meta here is going to be that they're going to vote no on the clean resolution, but they're not going to. They're going to vote for they're going to vote for closure, so that there's no necessity for a filibuster-proof majority, and therefore they're basically saying, yeah, we're not going to fight back. We're not going to actually. We're going to let this pass. It is the cowardly way of letting it pass while simultaneously making it seem like you voted against it. That's it. It's no different than voting yes for it. Okay? Dem CR Watch, Michigan U.S. Senator Elisa Slotkin affirms that she will vote no, said during evening town hall she wants assurances that Elon Musk and Doge won't stray away from Congress. What Congress appropriates has not gotten assurance. There's no language you could add to any bill that would avoid the looming Supreme Court showdown about the constitutionality of the Impoundment Control Act. If SCOTUS says that's good law, then it's good law. If they say it's unconstitutional, no writer changes that. Here is AOC on this issue.
The Republican extreme spending bill removes all of the guardrails and all of the accountability measures to ensure that money is being spent in the way that Congress has directed for it to be spent. This turns the federal government into a slush fund for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It sacrifices congressional authority, and it is deeply partisan. And so to me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicare.
Yep. There's also this part from AOC. AOC later sidesteps questions from Jake Tapper on if she challenged Schumer for a Senate seat. I think that what we need right now is a unified Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill. And I think that the strength that we have is in this moment, reconciliation. Republicans do not need Democratic votes for that. They need it for this. And so the strength of our leadership in this moment is going to demonstrate the strength of our caucus. And I cannot urge enough how bad of an idea it is to empower and enable Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this moment. It is dangerous. It is reckless. Asked if she thinks Schumer's a weak Senate leader considering his reported support for cloture, AOC responds, I think that that would be a mistake. We have time between now and tomorrow, and I hope that individuals are considering that. Reconsider it. Yeah, I saw this already. Call her out? Wait, call AOC out? Why would I fucking call AOC out right now? She's right. What? Are you guys okay? Call AOC out for what? Saying the correct thing? Like what? Yeah, I mean, this is not cowardly. This is a collaboration. The Democratic Party is led by the politician equivalent of the dad who went out for cigarettes and never came back. What do you think it would take to call for an American Morena? The Democrats are collapsing. The base despises them. I think the Democrats have a fucking war chest that they would not even... I've thought about this a lot. And I know where your opinion is. You want a third party, and I totally understand that, especially now more than ever. I think that the Democrats will spend every waking moment absolutely destroying any kind of third party initiative, like any kind of third party initiative. I don't know if this is the right time. I think that there will be a right time, though. I do. I think it's gonna have to happen eventually. People hate them. Fuck the money. It doesn't work that way, Mike. Come on. Fuck the money. Fuck the money and the power. I mean, every fucking media outlet will. You'll have MSNBC calling whichever third party candidate is out there a fucking pedophile. Like, just like every media outlet, the New York Times, anyone who goes on a third party run will be branded like a child fucker by New York Times. They'll just be like, yeah, these people are radical, dangerous terrorists and pedophiles. I don't have a belief that it's like the collapse of the Democratic Party is here. I do think that there is a time for potentially third party pushes. You have more viewers than anyone on MSNBC Bad Take. I think you guys are I just I don't have confidence yet. The media trust is at an all-time low, but that doesn't mean that people like the left. Make no mistake. Yeah, Morena had a clear, popular, tested leader in AMLO. I don't see anyone that can make that in the States right now. Yeah, it would have to be like a Bernard Sanders a coalition, a Bernard Sanders-backed coalition somewhere. But I don't disagree with you on the long game. I just don't know if this is the... I don't see the environment being habitable for that, even though this is the least popular the Dems have been for very good reasons. I think a lot of Americans are losing confidence in them. Let's see what Chuck Schumer is saying on Chris Hayes. Wait, hold on.
Executive branch. And so it would be devastating. Why is it that Elon Musk and Donald Trump want a government shutdown? So they can take control of the government and do their vicious, horrible things. They could cut half the government. They could tell employees you're not essential and never bring them back, permanently firing them. It's a disaster.
I'm calling for Bernie to lead the new party. Now is the time. I mean, Bernie's also too old without a successor as well. That's the other problem.
Why did they eliminate SNAP?
I don't disagree with you.
Why did they cut so much of Medicaid? But they could do all that on their own. That's the problem. There is no check on them with a shutdown. That's not to say this CR bill is a good bill. It isn't. It didn't have any safeguards in it. But it would be much, much worse to have a shutdown. And my job, Chris, as leader, is to see things a little bit ahead down the road and see how horrible this would be and alert people to it.
So I want to sort of present two arguments on the other side. One of them is that it was quite, and I hear you on this. This is not an easy call. I want to be clear. I mean, I don't think it is, but you know, the AFG union, which is the largest union representing federal workers, they won a big victory today in federal court about those probationary employees who were fired. They came out against the CR, which really surprised me, right? These are the people that seem to have the most skin in the game on precisely the terms you're enunciating. And they said, the fact that this CR has no protections that will actually be followed means that we can't support it. If the people whose livelihoods are on the line say you cannot go along with this thing, why are they wrong?
I understand why they're so upset with the CR, but I disagree with them because the shutdown would be worse for their employees. They could just eliminate huge portions of government workers automatically. They could eliminate programs automatically, which they can't do on the CR. The CR has certain spending, and they can screw around with it, and they will. These guys are sons of guns. They're going to do everything they can to hurt the government. You know what they've talked about. Elon Musk, this billionaire who cares nothing about taking people's Social Security away, this guy says that he wants to cut $2 trillion out of the federal government. A shutdown would allow him to do it. And here's another point, Chris. There's no exit ramp.
No, it wouldn't.
Anyone who wants the shutdown, I'd ask them, well...
No, you're making it seem like the Republicans want a shutdown. They don't.
So
this is a lie. It would be unimaginably unpopular for the Republicans to get to a shutdown without conceding at any point to the Democrats.
That's even worse.
So here's the other.
The president always owns the shutdown.
Right? Democrats don't control any part of the government. So there's not a ton of leverage. The one thing they have leverage is in the Senate, where you need a filibuster-proof majority on a cloture vote. That there's essentially an unconstitutional... I'm going to be honest with you,
Chuck Schumer knows this. This is compliance. They're complicit. They're
complicit. These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every step of the way.
But look, Russ Vought is already telling people, but he's telling people on the floor, we are not even going to listen to this CR. This is a piece of paper that we will impound and rip up the moment it's passed. If that's the case, how is voting for cloture not essentially an imprimatur on the very same assault on the constitutional order?
They're already, even without this CR, they're already doing it.
Right.
Okay? They did it to the Department of Education. But I can tell you, I've been through shutdowns before. It's not that this CR is good. It's not that voting for it is good. It's horrible. But the alternative is worse. And we have to look just a month ahead and see how bad a shutdown would be for all the things we believe in, and how I'd say Trump and Doge and Musk and Vought, they're like drooling with happiness and desire to get a government shutdown. They've said they want it. Why? Not for doing anything good, I'll tell you that. These guys are authoritarians.
which is why we're showing our belly to them.
The theory of the case for people that don't want Democrats to vote for cloture is that Americans don't quite understand what's being done to their government. It's being done in this sort of haphazard fashion. The stories are sort of getting out. You know, there's this Forest Service worker who got laid off for no reason, and there's this veteran who's got a traumatic brain injury, who's got a clinical trial. But the shutdown would be a way of actually calling the question. And here's what I would just offer. It seems to me that the demand that makes the most sense here, and I'm not a U.S. Senator, is for the Republicans to vote on a rescission package that enunciates the cuts DOJ has done, as opposed to allowing an unelected co-president unilaterally eviscerate the American constitutional power of the purse.
Well, the bottom line is the Republican Senate is in total obeisance to Trump. They're not going to oppose him in any way. But if they allow Trump to make the kind of drastic cuts that I greatly fear in a government shutdown, they'll be culpable as well. And make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Ask yourself again the question, why does Musk and Trump and Vote want this? Vote already has plans on how to slash the government, far worse than slashed in the CR. Much worse. Every program, every part of government would be at their disposal, their wicked disposal. So that's the problem here. It's not that the CR is good, it's horrible. Well, and all things being equal, we should have opposed it. But the alternative being a shutdown makes things worse. And I believe this, much worse. And I believe this, I wouldn't have done this. I knew I'd get criticized. But I felt obligated for the country, for my Democratic caucus, to the people, to explain how bad a shutdown would be. And if we went into a shutdown and everything bad happened, I had to give people this warning.
Can I'm going to just keep you for two more questions, if that's okay. One is a sort of question about strategy and dealing what I think you and I and many people watching this agree is essentially an assault on the constitutional order, and that it's this.
Absolutely.
The only thing they understand is meeting conflict with conflict. So if you look at Doug Ford in Ontario, who banged the table and said, "You're going to tariff us, I'm going to tariff you, we're going to put a surcharge on electricity," that the only thing that gets their attention, the only thing that gets them to back down, conflict with conflict. If you meet conflict with essentially managed retreat or strategic non-engagement, then they roll all over you.
We are going to conflict with them on everything. On the tax cuts for the billionaires, they've become a plutocracy, an oligarchy. On Medicaid, we have plans to conflict them with all of that. If the shutdown occurred, we wouldn't be able to do that because they would fill up both the Senate and the discussion on whether we should cut this and not cut that, of things that they want to cut. So to have the conflict on the best ground we have, summed up in a sentence, that they're making the middle class pay for tax cuts for billionaires, it's much, much better not to be in the middle of a shutdown, which would divert people from the number one issue we have against these bastards, these people, which is not only all these cuts, but they're ruining democracy. And one other thing on a shutdown. On a shutdown, the courts could close. Or at least be totally disabled. And the courts are one of the best ways we've had to go after these guys.
Final question about just an issue of intercameral strategy. I mean, the Democrats voted en masse against this in the House. They lost only one vote, Jared Golden in Maine. I've seen a lot of House members, and across an ideological range, interestingly enough, urging the Senate to filibuster this, saying, look, this is existential about whether we control the power of the purse or not. We cannot essentially sign off on this DOJ unilateral arrogation of this power.
Yeah, look, I supported what the House did to vote against this bill universally, but that didn't cause a shutdown. It's different in the Senate. And I knew people were going to disagree with me, but I felt so strongly that the shutdown would be the greatest disaster we face with these arrogant autocrats, that we had to avoid the shutdown and fight on many of the other things, every other issue that we have.
All right, Senator Chuck Schumer, who's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, announcing he will be a yes for cloture tomorrow. I imagine you will have the 6 or so other votes you need to get that over the hump. Thank you, sir. Come on anytime and with late breaking news, and we can do this whenever you want.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to
Appreciate
talk
it.
with you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I can't.
Actively hide from their own concerns.
I can't. It's unbelievable, dude. It is unfucking believable. Schumer tells me Republicans might try to jam Democrats again in September, but thinks Trump will be less popular then, and Republican appropriators might be more willing to stand up to him. He said he refused to do so now. Oh my God, he is so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Okay, for those of you who don't understand, can you explain why he's complicit? Just wanting to understand more, not debate. I will. Okay. In order for this continuing resolution to pass, to fund the government, to avert a government shutdown, the Republicans need a filibuster-proof majority. There's one way that the Democrats can stop that from happening, which is to say that they're going to filibuster it. Okay? They need 60 votes in the Senate. They already have the House majority, but they need 60 votes in the Senate. But they don't have 60 votes in the Senate. The only Democrat that has said they would vote for this ahead of time was John Fetterman. But John Fetterman gets canceled out by Rand Paul, because Rand Paul said he would not vote for it. So in this process, the Democrats and whoever the minority party is, like it's sometimes Democrats, sometimes Republicans, doesn't matter. The minority party has the minority Paul, not Rand Paul, Thomas Massey. No, Rand Paul as well. I thought it was Rand Paul. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure Rand Paul in the Senate said that he wouldn't. Didn't he say he was not going to vote for it? Yeah, and also Massey is not in the Thomas Massey in the House of Representatives already voted no. He was the singular no vote from the Republican Party. But Rand Paul in the Senate said, yeah, I was right. I don't know why Chad is trying to correct me on this. Okay. Rand Paul in the Senate said he was not going to vote for it. John Fetterman on the Republican side, John Fetterman on the Democrat side said he would vote for it. So there's still Democratic support that they need. Okay. They need more Democratic support to get to the filibuster-proof majority. Now, this is historically the only way for historically the only way for the minority party, the party not in power, to be able to force concessions from the majority party, the party in power. And the Democrats and Republicans both historically have used this, especially Republicans have used this opportunity to, edge towards a government shutdown with the hopes of getting Democrats to back down from certain things they want to pass through a CR. Okay. And they've been fairly successful in the past because no matter what happens, it's always the responsibility of whoever is in charge. It's the White House's fault in the eyes of the American population. So the American population would look to all the furloughs and all the media coverage on, the hundreds of thousands of federal government workers no longer going into work and the economic crisis that is on the verge of happening. And they would blame the party in charge, the Republicans in this regard. This is precisely the reason why the Republicans would inevitably concede on certain issues and make it seem as though, at the very least, like the Democrats are fighting back. Like give him a victory, give him a W, right? If they were to play ball. Except the Democrats right now, backed by Chuck Schumer, are waving the white flag. They initially had said for months that they would use the budget shutdown. I mean, the continued resolution as a battle and maybe even force the government to go into a shutdown if necessary to make sure that they had certain assurances. And Chuck Schumer today, up until yesterday, he was saying he was going to not vote for it, that the Republicans didn't have the votes for it. But as of today, Chuck Schumer has waved the white flag. They're going to vote for closure so that this can pass without a filibuster-proof majority, and the Republicans have the votes to pass it without a filibuster-proof majority once that happens. So that's it. That is what's going on here. They're not using the only fucking weapon they have to wield against the majority party, and they're giving it up without a single fucking fight while wearing these goddamn socks. Why the flop from Schumer? I think in the past I would have told you it's because they're cowards, but I think they're just, or that they're stupid, but I think it's because they're complicit. Like, they don't care. They like the austerity. They enjoy it. They love it. They love that it's like the Republicans doing it. They think that this will ruin the American economy. They think that this will create a lot of anger and resentment towards the Republicans, and then they can comfortably ride that anger into a narrow, marginal victory. They can farm donations for the next 3 years and then inevitably fucking win the election again. I don't even know if that's the case. I don't even know if that will happen, for the record. I don't even know if the Democrats will ever win again, because goddamn, they're so fucking pathetic. Having said that, however, this is the case in front of us now. This is what's happening currently. It is insane. It is unacceptable. I don't know. They're not factoring how stupid Americans are. They're not factoring anything.